Hello, and welcome to the November astrology forecast. I've decided to go ahead and record these as an audio version because I've run all the charts and I've done all the work. My furniture and equipment will not arrive until sometime next week. I also start back with my clients on October 19th. So the rest of my October schedule is very tight. And so I thought, why not just go ahead and get these done while I'm sitting here waiting for my furniture, because I'm ready to go. I love this new area I've moved into. I can see the Milky Way at night. So I'm really excited about what I'm doing. I'm thrilled about the astrology coming up here in November and especially December and 2017. There is a new wave of energy coming in that we haven't seen before that is absolutely brilliant. And so I really want to get in here and do what I do. So thank you for your patience. I'll be back in November in front of the camera, and I'm excited to be with you. So let's get started. Enjoy and keep looking up. Hi Libra, welcome to your October and November astrology forecast. And I do apologize for not getting your birthday month done. I have been in transit, as the intro said, and it was just out of my hands. And I really wanted to, because your Libra new moon on September 30th is gorgeous. And you get one new moon a year and one full moon a year. Your full moon will come when the sun is in Aries next year. And this year, on the 30th of September, this is a wonderful indicator for your year to come. And you have Jupiter in your sign championing you. And Jupiter is coupled with the sun and the moon at the time of the new moon, which is an omen of luck and fortune and positivity and good things happening. It's as if Jupiter is saying doorways will open for you in this coming year, this solar year, till your birthday of next year, where you can reach your goals. You can reach your heart's desire. Law of attraction is always matching. So you want to be focusing on what you want, not on what you don't want. You want to be focusing on the good in your life, not on the contrast, not on the resistance. And that is really important, because Jupiter expands whatever he touches. And so if we're focused on the negative, it can expand the negative. You have so much positivity in this chart. You have the sun and the moon coupled with Jupiter, which is expansion, abundance, prosperity, inspiration, personal growth, wisdom, success, being idealistic. And Saturn is sextile the sun and the moon. That is also very positive. Sextiles create opportunities. You do have to put some energy into it. So you have to make that phone call. You have to tell that person, yes, I want that job. And you get it. So in other words, yes, you have to put some effort into it. However, you get the positive results that you desire because it is a sextile, which creates positive energy flow. And Jupiter and Saturn are going to be in positive energy flow for the rest of the year and into next year, which is business expansion. And I really love this energy, because with Jupiter and positive energy flow with Saturn, you can expand your business, you can move up in what you're doing, you can create better relationships, and you do it in practical ways. It's not pie in the sky and, just avoiding the ugly and the negative. It's, I'm practical, I'm grounded, I'm making grounded choices, and things are falling into place. Things are happening for me in a way that empowers me, makes me feel good, and I feel like I'm on track. And so this is also something to be very hopeful about, inspired about for your solar year. A solar year is when the sun returns to exact degree of birth. That's what a solar return chart is. A solar return chart is very significant, and the astrologer will look at that because it gives her an idea of it's your landscape for the year, where your energy will be focused in the coming year. So this is a wonderful new moon for you. And I love what I'm seeing here because it is very positive. And, for many of you, you've had to deal with the Pluto and Uranus, and those energies are extremely challenging. So for those of you listening and watching that have been going through, health breakdown or health issues or, work relationships, falling apart, it's just the universe saying, move on. It's time to go to a higher level of consciousness. It's time to go to a higher vibration. And when you do that, when you let go of the resistance, and resistance really is fear, and when you let go of the resistance, you create the space for someone even better to come into your life, or a better work opportunity, or a better, company for you to start. And it does require for us to get out of our comfort zone. And I know a lot of people that, stay in these dead-end relationships or these dead-end living locations simply because they don't want to be uncomfortable. I get it, moving is very challenging, but the reward is so great because when you align with the changes you need to advance and grow, the reward that comes, the joy, the happiness, the expansion is unlimited. So don't let fear hold you in a place that's no longer appropriate for you. Because Pluto and Uranus can be a positive force in your life if you're changing, if you're not resisting. If you resist, it can break down the body. And so be open to change and remind yourself that you are ready for new opportunities to come into your life. You're ready for new love to enter your life. You're ready for the abundance that you have been wanting. And by doing that, you're aligning with what you want. You're aligning with the love. You're aligning with the prosperity. Now, I'm filming this on the 15th of October, and we're at the Aries full moon. And this is a really intense full moon, as for many of you are probably feeling this. And that's because Uranus, who is the disruptor, Uranus, is coupled with the moon in Aries. They're both in Aries, and they're opposing the sun in Libra and Mercury in Libra. Jupiter's in Libra, but he hasn't reached that far yet, although that is a very positive energy because Jupiter being opposed by Uranus, and you can feel some of that energy starting in November, and it's going to be on till the end of 2017. That's sudden luck. That's sudden opportunity. That's the winning the lottery. That's hitting the jackpot. That's where you say, okay, I will move. Okay, I will, get myself out of this negative situation. The universe responds with, hey, he wants a better opportunity, and they bring it to you, and it can happen overnight. And that's what's so exciting about this Jupiter Uranus energy that's coming in here. And Jupiter being in your sign, that's going to bring you a tremendous opportunity, tremendous prosperity. And it can be love, it can be the love of your life, it can be money, it can be whatever your heart is desiring, you can see come to fruition end of this year and next year. And that includes whether Pluto is challenging you or Uranus is opposing you or not, because there is an astrology coming in here, and it's starting to show up now, and it's going to be on end of November, all of December, and all of next year, that we've never seen before. And I'm going to be doing webinars on it in January, because I want to get everybody pumped up to take advantage of this energy, because we're not going to see it again in our lifetime. And that energy is Saturn and Sagittarius in positive energy flow with Uranus and Aries. And Jupiter will be in positive energy flow with both Uranus and Saturn, as it opposes Uranus. It's in positive energy flow with Saturn, and that is going to create an energy, a foundation that you can create greater opportunity, greater abundance, greater prosperity. You can use this energy to recreate your life, create the life you truly desire, create your best life. And when Uranus and Saturn trine like this, positive energy flow, it's business expansion, it's innovation, it's creativity, and it's done in a way that's practical and step by step and grounded so that it lasts a lifetime. So for all of us, and especially you, because you are personally involved in this with Jupiter in your sign, Libra, you are going to have the opportunity to remake your life. You're going to have the opportunity to get those things you've been wanting for a really long time, and you're not going to be blocked anymore because the stars are lining up. And this is an energy of positivity that empowers you to literally be magical and manifest what you want instantly. And so there's so much for you to look forward to. Now, here in October, with this full moon, Uranus is opposing you, or opposing the Libra sun. And, with that energy, he's quite the disruptor. And he challenges these rigid structures some of you may have yourself in. And it can be upsetting. And it can be shocking at times, right? I have this Uranus conjunct the moon in Aries in my solar return chart. And so it is in positive energy flow with all my Leo planets and my Sag planets. And so even when it trines, it can be upsetting. And that's when I realized I'm moving from Colorado to Massachusetts, which is a 2,000-mile move. And it was incredibly requiring of me physically, emotionally, and so on. And so even when it's positive energy flow, it can be surprise, surprise you're moving, or surprise the relationship is done. And so that's the nature of Uranus. However, if the power is always with the one who acts, not reacts. And so when you get proactive and you say, okay, you know what? It is time for me to go. It is time for me to move on. And when you look at what you're doing, are you really happy? Are you really happy with where you are? Are you really happy with who you're with? Are you really happy with what you're doing? These planets only take what's obsolete. They're not going to take what you need to evolve, expand, and love. The whole reason you're here is to love. And that means love you, love your life, love who you're with, love what you're doing. And if anything you're doing is less than love, these energies are going to shake you up and say, hey, what are you doing? And how's that working for you? And if you're not attracting the abundance you want, that means you are not in the right place for you or in your best place. And so, so this second half of October, you're probably feeling this energy. And Uranus is electricity. And he wakes us up. And he pours that electrical energy through your crown chakra, down your spinal. And so all of your chakras are being lit up. And you could be having this like great awakening right now or epiphanies. And it's all about liberating you. It's all about freeing you. It is about getting you to that right place and right time so that you can seize the moment and you can take advantage of the opportunities. Because with Jupiter getting ready to oppose Uranus, and that's going to, like I said, the energy is going to start to gel here in November 17th on, and it goes exact on December 26th, and then March 3rd, and then March 28th, 2017, and that's when you're getting close to your full moon because the sun is in Aries starting in March 20th, 21st, 2017. That energy is going to be around for you, and that is, where luck is just like making things happen for you, making things really come together for you in such a positive way, and it's very exciting. So be open to greater prosperity, be open to greater love, be open to your heart's desire, and stay flexible, because that is one of the keys with these types of energies is we can't be rigid. We can't be like, well, it's got to look this way and my soulmate needs to look like this. And it doesn't, the universe doesn't work that way. And so, your soulmate could be right in front of you. Maybe, he or she is not in the package you thought. However, is the universe has placed that person right in front of you. And, the same with, job opportunities or starting your own business opportunities is opportunities will be brought to you. However, you have to be in a space, you have to have a consciousness that is open to the opportunity. And that's really all you have to do is get yourself ready to be open to the new opportunities, and one of my favorite mantras is, I'm open to the new opportunities that are now in my life. Abundance comes to me easily, effortlessly, and often. The power of intention is so important. And when you set your intention to receive, when you set your intention for good in your life, when you set your intention for only love in your life, you're creating an auric field, you're creating an energy that only brings that to you. And so use this October to really set your intention for what you want to see manifest the rest of this year and all of next year, because you have Jupiter in your sign. And he won't be back for another 12 years. And he can absolutely bring you the expansion you want, the prosperity you want, the love you want. So happy belated birthday! Or for some of you listening right now, happy birthday! Okay, so now in November, Venus, your ruling planet, enters Capricorn on November 11th. And, Capricorn brings the action and energy to your foundation. And you do have Pluto there in Capricorn. So, this is a time where, you may be wanting to make your home more beautiful. You want to be at home. You want to nurture yourself. You want to play in the garden. You're just really happy at home. And that's awesome. That is a wonderful energy. Mars entered Aquarius on November 8th, and Aquarius is your sister sign. And this is really cool because with Mars in Aquarius, that could be bringing, for those of you open to new love, a new love partner. And with Mars in Aquarius, he is in positive energy flow with Jupiter in Libra and all of your planets in Libra, whether it's the sun or moon or rising or Venus or Jupiter. Mars in positive energy flow with your Jupiter is the ability to take action and be incredibly creative. This is, Aquarius is that area of your life that has to do with creative self-expression, right? So for those of you that are very happily coupled, this is an energy that you can use in your creativity, in your work, in your even sports, or fun, having fun. And it's good to have fun because that brings us joy and that raises the vibration. Laughing raises your vibration. So it's really important to see the lighter side of life, not take ourselves so serious, and have fun. Mercury enters Sagittarius on the 12th. And now Sagittarius rules your mind. It rules your communication. It rules your day-to-day travel. It rules how you talk to yourself. It rules how you think, how you listen, your style of speaking and listening, your thought patterns, your conscious awareness. And of course, it sextiles Libra, which is very positive. Now, Saturn has been there for a while and will continue to be there until December 2017. And so Saturn has been rewiring your brain. And, for some of us, we can feel kind of stuck when Saturn's in this area of our life because it just seems like, I'm spinning my wheels, I'm not going anywhere. And that's going to change because you're getting this blessing with Jupiter in your sign now in harmony with Saturn. And that does start in November. And that energy is going to be on all next year too. And so you can now start to feel like, hey, my wheels are taking me somewhere. I'm actually starting to get somewhere. And that's good news too. So the planets are aligning and they are empowering you to make positive changes in your life so that it uplifts you. And for any of you that have been feeling kind of down, this energy is definitely a shift in the right direction, starting here at your birthday and the rest of this year and going into next year. So that's good news too. Now, the Taurus full moon on the 14th of November, I like this full moon. It doesn't have any challenging aspects to it. In fact, Pluto is in positive energy flow with the moon in Taurus. And Taurus brings the action for you to the area of shared resources, your partner's resources. Money that comes to you that's not earned income. Maybe it's your investments or, insurance payout, tax payout, royalty payout. And Pluto So there's, for some of you, you could be increasing your net worth through real estate, through investments, through family members. You could inherit money here in November that, say someone passes over and they leave you a bunch of money. That could be happening for some of you. Or your partner could be coming into some money that is always good news. And this is a very healing moon because Pluto, powerful Pluto, is in positive energy flow with the moon, as well as Chiron. Chiron is an asteroid, but he acts like a planet in our astrology. And so for any of you that have been having any kind of health things going on, this could be a nice healing moon for you where things start to physically improve for you, which is good news. And so, or if you need any kind of surgery in November at this time, this could be a very successful energy for you. I don't give surgery advice in general readings or over Facebook or the internet. You have to be in a private consultation with me because I have to look at everything and I go way in on deep levels to see what is the best appropriate time for something like that. So this is just a general energy forecast, astrology forecast. So, but it is improving your health. It is improving how you're feeling physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and that's always good news. So I think, what I'm getting is this is a better time for Libras coming into this end of this year and going into next year because the Saturn and Sagittarius is very supportive of you. Jupiter in your sign is incredibly blessing you. And even Uranus is awakening you. It can be challenging because you can feel, for those of you coupled, you may feel like your partner is a bit strange or doing strange things, and communication is the key, right? Communication, cooperation, and who knows that better than you? But you do not want to throw yourself under the bus because you don't want to upset the apple cart. That is not appropriate, okay? Without you, we don't have a conversation. Without you, nothing else matters. And you have to say, hey, this is what I need. Hey, this is what I want, right? You don't assume your partner has psychic abilities and knows exactly what you want and need. You have to teach people how to treat you. You have to ask for what you want and need. And this is really important because the ruling planet is going to couple with Pluto on the 25th. And that is going to bring up, the shadow side, right? And we all have a shadow side. We all have parts of self that we wouldn't put on our resume, right? That we wouldn't put on our Facebook page, right? And so it's okay. Your job is to love all those parts of you, to love the beautiful and the ugly, to love the mastery and the part of us that's not mastered. And so embrace your dark side. Love you, warts and all, because what that does is it creates balance and wholeness, right? And you are the sign, the scales are about balance. And so you're going to have some issues come up around that 25th in regards to how you're loving on you, how you're taking care of you. And no matter the question, love is the answer. And you can't love another if you don't love yourself. That's just superficial. If we act like we love others when we don't love ourselves, that's not real. And so Pluto's going to pull that up for you here in November around the 25th, where, and it could be a family member that's pushing your buttons. And so again, it's not about other people. It's like, why are my buttons being pushed? Why do I feel this way? Why do I feel crappy about myself? Why do I feel crappy about my feet. I like my feet. I'm just generalizing here. You know what I mean, is that we all have something we don't like about ourselves, right? And your job is to love you, right? So in other words, say you want to lose weight. And I like releasing weight, because whenever we are trying to lose something, we're always going to want it back. So don't say I want to lose weight, say I want to release weight, right? You can't get thin if you're telling yourself you're fat, okay? You want to get in front of that mirror and just tell yourself, I'm getting thinner every day. I feel really thin. Even if it's a lie, it doesn't matter, because the subconscious works like a genie in the bottle. It believes whatever you tell it. And so whatever it is you want, I feel really abundant. I feel rich. I am the richest person I know. That's how you attract what you want. That's how you create what you want. Don't tell yourself the story as it is. Tell your story the way you want it to be. Not the way it is, but the way you want it to be. I am so happy. I have tons of abundance. I am thin, healthy, strong, happy, successful. That's the story you want to tell. Now, Neptune moves direct on the 19th, and it's a very subtle energy, but it's a really important astrological event, because the Sun enters Sagittarius on the 21st, and the Sagittarius new moon on the 29th is being challenged by Neptune. Now, that's an energy that's not about you. And so, you won't be affected by it as the mutable signs will. The Saggies, the Geminis, the Pisces, and the Virgos. That is who is most affected by it. So I'm going to come back to that in a minute, because there's another important astrological event happening where you are a major player. And that is Jupiter is being challenged by Pluto, and it goes exact on the 24th of November, March 30th, and August 4th of 2017. Now, when Jupiter squares something, challenges it, it still feels great. So it's not negative. In fact, this is an energy that can really get you going. And, sometimes we're so tired we don't want to do anything, or, we need energy to get things done. This is an aspect that can really give you a ton of energy to get things done. And so, on the one hand, it is arousing your ambition to achieve great things, to achieve your goals, to achieve anything you want to go after. You can be feeling really ambitious, even aggressive, more like an Aries. And you can be like, I'm going after what I want. I'm going after that new house. I'm going after that new job. I'm going to go call that person to invite him or her out to dinner. That's the kind of energy that it is, which is really exciting. The flip side of it is, with Jupiter, when it challenges like this, or Pluto challenges Jupiter, is we can go over the top with it. We can eat too much. We can drink too much. We can be too aggressive. We can be, I want what I want. I want it yesterday. And you're either going to do it and work for me and help me, or I'll crush you. And that may surprise you too, because you're the sign of harmony and love and peace. And yet this lion comes up in you, and you want to achieve what you want. And so this is going to be really interesting energy for you to play out. Now, like I said, it's a great energy, to clean your house from top to bottom, or to, do physical things, or, build a new business. You can get a lot done with it. Make sure you take other people along with you. Don't run people over, because this is the kind of energy where we will see people doing that, where those that aren't consciously aware and, don't have empathy can be really rude, or, when they're driving on the road, they take up the entire road, it's like, hello, we're all here to share the road. And, so watch out for obsession too, because Pluto rules obsession, and Jupiter expands whatever he touches. So this is going to be, big obsession. I must win the lottery. I must win the lottery. Whatever your obsession is, be aware that you could find yourself going over the top. And, and you know this better than anybody. Balance is the key. Not going too far with anything. Not going to extremes is never good, right? Something can be good for us, like, say, drinking water. But if we drink too much water, that's not good either. So be aware of what you're obsessing about. And for some people, they're going to go, they're going to be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, with their religion and their, this ISIS thing and this beliefs, they'll be too righteous and dogmatic and running over other people with their beliefs. And that's not enlightenment. In the age of Aquarius, it's about allowing everyone to, love Creator in their own way, or not love Creator, to be atheist. I mean, that's their choice too. And so, is be aware if you're finding yourself, going to extremes or right fighting. You must believe what I believe. No, actually, we all believe what we believe based on our own personal experience. And beliefs change as we evolve and grow. And so we want to allow everyone to move along at their own pace. And just because something's right for you, that doesn't mean it's right for me. Or just because something's right for me may not work for you at all. And so it's really important that we are hanging loose and not pushing our ideals or beliefs onto anyone that we care about, love, or messages in the world. And you watch this energy at the end of November into December. You'll see a lot of these religious fanatics going over the top and hitting us with their Bibles and whatever. And is really, that's fear, isn't it? When we have to control what other people think and believe, it's because we're not strong within self. When you're strong within self, you can let everyone believe what they want, as long as they're not pushing it onto you. So this is going to be an interesting energy. But for you, it's great for house cleaning. It's great for painting your house. It's great for working in the home. It's great for building your physical strength. It's great for working on your appearance, working on your physical body. And it's also really good energy to just take action, not wait on other people. Be more like the Aries and just say, okay, I've got this project I want to get done. I'm going to go at it. I'm not going to wait for other people. I'm going to go do what I need to do. And when you do that, that really channels this energy in a way that is very productive and proactive. And that's what it's about when we use these energies. Now, it's really interesting how, your new moon was on September 30th, and the Scorpio new moon is on October 30th. And now the Sagittarius new moon is on the end of the month, November 29th. It's like here we are at the end of each month, but we have new moons, and new moons are new beginnings. So we keep having new beginnings at the end of a month. I think we should go back to the original lunar calendars that we lived by for thousands of years before Rome created that man-made calendar. And so the Scorpio new moon is lovely because it's in positive energy flow with Neptune on October 30th. And that's a very healing energy for you. It can be physically healing, spiritually healing, emotionally healing. So there's a lot of healing energy coming in for you past that Aries wake up full moon that we're all getting. And I just really love seeing this. This is a soft energy, the Scorpio new moon. It's a softening. It increases your intuition. It increases your compassion and your forgiveness and acceptance. And then we get to the Sagittarius new moon on the November 29th. And that is being challenged by Neptune. And that one you really have to pay attention to because Neptune is incredibly strong because he is in his own sign, Pisces. And with Neptune, challenging the new moon in Sagittarius, you want to pay attention to what you're doing, because Neptune can make your brain foggy. You can be deceived. People can be dishonest. And it dissolves structures. It dissolves your reality. Neptune, rules the movie industry, rules the music industry. It rules illusion and fantasy. And so it's great for creativity, but it's not good for decision making. And for you, that new moon happens in the area of your conscious awareness. It happens for you in the area of communication. So do not sign any contracts around the 29th of November. Also stay away from November 12th, because that's when Mercury is challenged by Neptune. And the reason is because if you're trying to make a decision, based on facts, common sense, reasoning, you won't have that with Neptune around, because Neptune clouds the thinking. And Neptune is about fantasy and creativity. It's not about reality. That's Saturn's job. And so with Neptune challenging Mercury on the 19th, the 12th of November, and then the Sagittarius new moon on the 29th, we need to be very careful about what we think is real, who we think we can trust, what we're doing, how we're going about it, because there's going to be a lot of deception going on at that new moon. So the best strategy is to use it in your creativity. Use it in your meditation time. Use it to play. Use it to create. Use it to do fun things. Just stay away from any kind of final decision making. It's not the time to make a major purchase on the 29th. It's not the time to buy a house on the 29th. It's not the time to lease a house. It's not the time to lease a car, buy a car. It's not the time for you to make a major purchase or commitment, start the job, anything like that. Wait until December, because even just, a few hours after the moon will couple with Saturn. And Saturn is sober reality. so Saturn will be like, why did you just do that? And like, oh, I thought it was good. And so then you're feeling like, I can't believe I just, put money into that or fell for that, And a week later in December, the sun will couple with Saturn. And that will be, a good whack on the side of the head, where you're just like, what was I thinking? Okay. And so you can avoid all of that by enjoying the Sagittarius new moon, which is about celebrating and fun, because as we go into Sagittarius, which is such a fun sign, and we're coming into the holiday season, and that big fat Gemini full moon that happens in December is always about, Santa Claus and celebrating and ho, ho, ho and having fun. And, so it's a wonderful time to celebrate and have fun. It's not the time to make any major decisions. So it is a very interesting time. Things are getting much better for the Libras, and use this energy to expand consciousness, to be creative. Just don't make any major decisions until you get into December. So for those of you open to love, you do have Jupiter in your sign, and that really could bring a big love to you. And now with the Mars in the area of passion and love and romance, that could bring a new man for the females, or those of you that are same sex. Although it could be a woman too, but it's love. And so it could be brought right to you, especially when that Gemini full moon comes in December, because then that's a grand air trine. Whew, that's gorgeous. I'll talk about that when we get to December. For those of you coupled, right, it's all about communication. It's all about sharing. and asking for what you want and need. And by doing that, it just makes your relationship better and better and better. With that new moon in Scorpio, that could totally be improving your money. So I'm seeing a big improvement in here with the money and the resources. And that could be, end of October going into November, money improving through work, through the business you own, as well as with that Taurus full moon, money coming to you through, winning the lottery, inheritance, your partner bringing home a lot of money. And so prosperity is really strong for you here into November, October into November, and that's always good news. I do see your health improving as well with Neptune going direct. For any of you that have been having some, weird things going on that you couldn't diagnose, now with Neptune going direct, there can be clarity with, any kind of health concern. Just don't make any decisions around the 12th or that Sagittarius new moon I talked about. Wait till December. Because then you really be clear with what's truly going on, because everybody catches up to Saturn, and Saturn is reality. Spiritually, the more you meditate, the more you take time for yourself and be really present, focused, grounded, it expands your consciousness. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, favoring, sharing, and Google Plussing my podcast, Libra. You're so awesome. Thank you for subscribing. You totally rock. And if you would like for me to take a detailed look at your astrology, your solar return chart coming up here this year into next year, it's very easy. The link is below in the Show More section. You go to my astrology page, you purchase session. Upon checkout, you get the link to my schedule, and we're working together. Or if you're interested in coaching, you go to my coaching page, you purchase session. Upon checkout, you get the link to my schedule, and we're coaching you. So until next time, Libra, love is the answer, no matter the question.